So today's another day in paradise. What I'm gonna do today is painting a few parts, so that's gonna be fun. It's still somewhat around 0 degrees right now. The sun will come out, but will heat up like around 5 degrees. Obviously in the sun it's gonna be a little bit warmer. The barn is definitely gonna be a little bit warmer overall, but I built a murder tent to keep it warm. It's still circulating from below, so the majority of stuff is on a little bit elevated. That one can go up to 10 bar, which is really nice because I'm gonna do some priming, and inside there's a heater going right now. So this will be fun. So the plan is to use the Superior epoxy primer from Nozzle with the hardener as well in a 1:1 ratio. Put that in this can and then blast it on with a Superior gun as fine as possible. We see how it works, otherwise I have to use a roller again, which I try to avoid, but we see how it goes. Otherwise I do have, sorry for the still a little bit of the spray epoxy to do like smaller stuff, like those ones here, for example. It's a little bit easier to just spray it on, really. The problem will be this one, this big boy. Otherwise, those ones here are getting a different primer. They're gonna have an etch primer on it. Novel said it's the better option for being able to withstand a little bit more heat. Afterwards, the Cobra paint, that one is supposed to be rated for 110 degrees Celsius, so it should hold up. It's more the problem that the primer might not stick well enough, so that's why the etch primer for the oil pan, the valve gas valve cover, and also for the timing cover as well, timing chain cover. I'm gonna get the same treatment. That one is aluminum as well, so that comes on top of it, but the rest is gonna be the normal epoxy primer. About 200 milliliters, a little bit more than that. 1:1 ratio. Get the primer put in here. This is an empty can. It's a little bit hard to come by at times, but that's why I need to clean it afterwards with thinner. Well, you gotta adjust the nozzle a little bit, but then the spray pattern is round, so it's a little bit harder to get the right dosage out. But once you get it, it actually is quite good. Not much spillage. And after a little bit of fiddling, between 8 and 10 bar, you're gonna get a solid layer out of it. It's gonna be more primer than you want to, but that's unfortunately how it is. So about 300 milliliters of primer, including the same amount in hardener, gets you this. It's actually quite a nice finish. It's pretty solid. I went over 2-3 times. It's because it's with that gun, it's a little bit hard to get like a really nice even finish. Well, the etch primer didn't arrive, so I need to mix it up. I just use half the can. and gonna blast all that. It has been curing now for 3-4 hours, so that's perfectly fine. Wet on wet, so I have 48 hours to make that functioning. It's quite warm in here, so it's about time that I hit it. So all the other parts are still covered. Gonna get the etch primer by the end of the week probably, and then hit it again. So we see one layer first, and then see if I just leave it for an hour or so, let that rest a little bit, and then hit it with the rest, depending a little bit on if there's still something in the can or not. I don't want to waste it. Alrighty, here we go. That's the pattern. Let's see. It's a little bit hard to see, I guess. So that was a whole spray gun for all those items, because of the fact that everything is a little tiny. So yeah, spraying quite a bit for no good reason really. So that cures out now. I leave that running throughout the day, throughout the night, so it can dry really nicely, and then that stuff comes afterwards. So I will definitely use 2 whole cans for the whole thing. I will leave those ones hanging most likely, and then see if I need to do a little bit of an extra coating once I have those ones done, because they're so tiny parts. I will probably just use the rest of it and just blast it on those parts, in particular that one, and a little bit more on the tank. Ew. Alrighty, etch primer is applied. So that has to cure for a little bit, and then off we go. Next one is getting another layer of paint on it, and then off we go. I should be done today. Alrighty. Another Cobra layer. Alrighty, another Cobra layer. There you go, finished up. Looking good, except the little mistake here on this one. You can see it's looking like, when you just look like this, it looks really nice, but right there in the corner here, I used a little bit too much, since I wanted to get into the corner there, into that little crevice, and then I used too much, and then you see that it changes a little bit, like there's a little bit too much paint on that part. The rest of this looks really nice, but that one was definitely a little bit too thick, and then